Ahoy! Welcome back to Girl Historians.
I'm Carley.
I'm Blair.
And this is the history podcast the comedy podcast where
we talk about
history and our girls.
Unless we're rebranding.
No, I think we should stay away from history. The second historian is like, this is not history. I'm like, yeah, girl.
I was laughing because Sarah, my roommate, was like, I was stalking your YouTube page, Girl Historians on YouTube. And she was like, it's so funny how like right at the top, you're like, a comedy podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that, yeah. Yeah, girl.
We need people to know because media literacy is at an all-time low. And if we don't say it, like that's the thing. It's if we don't say it, there's gonna be people here that are like, it's crazy you call yourself a historian. And it's like, no.
Girl, never.
Just because you don't have the information that you need doesn't mean that we're wrong.
We are of the caliber of people who like history and also enjoy reading New York Times articles.
Yeah, we're bi in that way.
We're bi in that way. We're bisexual in that way.
We're bisexual in that
way.
Your
birthday post where people were just commenting like, are you straight?
I know, for real.
So funny.
That was so insane. I posted a birthday post for my boyfriend for his 31st birthday. And truly, baby, the top comment was just, are you straight? And then it was people kind of in that comment, like in the replies of that comment, debating whether or not I was bi.
I love there was one comment because I was looking at it today.
Like, bi erasure goes crazy.
That one was cool, but there was one that was just like, straight for Reese? Yes. In general, I think not. Queen, whoever that was, if you're listening, queen.
I know, it's one of those things that it's like, I really stay off of any kind of like discussion board or whatever because I think, we need to let the people do their thing. Like what people want to do in their corners of the internet, hey, that's for you. Like you're discussing, let's discuss, whatever. But I wanted to be like, guys, like, I can see this.
Like, you think I don't, like, every, like, 2
Reese is getting a notification every time you ask if I'm bi. Because I tagged him. So, like, it's fine. Again, it doesn't matter. But there was a part where I was just like, guys, think, like, again, and it's one thing if it's, like, the post is fucking popping off and there's 20,000 comments. And I'm like, there's 5 comments on this.
Yeah. It's
You're front and center.
It's not popular enough.
No.
I feel like I get this with like people who watch your channel a lot will just like comment on my stuff like we have the same size of following, which we simply don't.
Yet. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. When I start my booktube.
Yeah.
But like, no, truly, like, and I'm just like, guys, like I see this.
I'm seeing this actively. Yeah.
I
like
see
I'm
this
not
actively.
Yeah.
And I'm still the phase where like I've stopped doing it as much, but like every month there's like one day where I'll just like Google my name and close my eyes and like
yeah, you're playing roulette.
Yeah, I've stopped doing it now.
Yeah.
I did respond to a Spotify comment for the first time ever from my personal account because I don't know because I don't know how to use the internet anymore.
No.
I used to.
Yeah.
I've lost it.
Yeah.
But someone was accusing me in the last episode of Acadian erasure. And I own up to that. Because I said the Quebecois moved down to New Orleans, but it wasn't. It was the Acadians when they were expelled. Yeah. Which I did know. I misspoke.
That's okay. And honestly,
so
that's okay.
And thank you. I just don't want the Acadians to be mad at me.
No, well, that's the hardest thing. It's like, it actually really doesn't matter when people who are incorrect and crazy comment. Like, if somebody's just being a horrible person.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, you don't come off well. Like,
like you can't say that because you're a bitch.
Like, yeah, if somebody was like, kill yourself. You're like, well, like, that doesn't really hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the same way.
But if you fucked up.
Yeah. Someone who's like an expert in something.
It's just like, hey, you misspoke.
Hey, you misspoke. Love you. Then it's like crying in the bathroom.
Any comment that starts with Carley, I love you, but I'm like, I'm about to get fucking.
Like, oh, no.
And like, yes, keep me. Like, in the abstract, I'm like, yes, I want to be kept humble, but in the day-to-day of my life, I hate it, but it is important. Like, this is why people become like James Charles, because they like avoid this and they like, the brain breaks in two.
Yeah. Yeah.
They become Jekyll and Hyde.
You gotta keep
beating
humble.
their face with a highlighter.
This is why I feel like I need to keep bartending to keep me humble, because like someone's always saying something fucking crazy to do when you're a bartender.
I think honestly, our group of like friends and whatever are really good at keeping people humble. I found that.
Yeah, because they're mean to you. They're mean to me.
Well, they don't give a fuck. They don't know what I do online at all. Like, they do not know. They don't. I think they barely think it's a job. They don't care at all about it.
It's like a rumor going around your trust fund kid.
Yeah,
it's like
Carly's money.
Carley has a YouTube channel that pays
her like
money.
Page, her website,
her page, her MySpace.
Yeah,
uploading to blogosphere.
I'm my live journal.
Yeah, your live journal. I'm gonna start a rumor that you have like a line of like activewear.
I would love that.
Just within our friends.
I was saying yesterday that I want to start a rumor that I'm Mooney on theater. Do you know Mooney on theater?
God, of course I know Mooney on theater.
Okay, so Mooney on theater is a specific Toronto theater blog.
It's Megan Mooney.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know who Mooney was. But they'll go to like fringe shows. So you kind of know them because they'll go to like, they're the only one that will like go to like a lot of amateur shows.
Yes.
So you'll be, if you do like a random like play, the only review you'll really get is like a Mooney on theater.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this would be funny if I'm just like, I'm Mooney.
That's really funny.
You
that's
guys
like,
maybe don't know this, but I'm actually Mooney on theater.
That's like claiming your Banksy, but for like Toronto indie theater.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember Mooney on theater was around when I was in high school. Wow. She's
hell yeah, Mooney.
I think she's expanded now. She's got different reviewers.
That
Mooney on
makes
theater
sense.
listening to the shaking in her boots. Sorry, girl.
We love you, girl. I just thought it was
love you, girl.
I saw last night Job by Max Wolf Friedrich.
How was it?
At the Coal Mine Theater. It was fantastic.
Yeah?
It was so good, Blair. I went in thinking it'd be okay because I'd read a review, not about the Coal Mine. I've never been to the Coal Mine Theater before. But I had read a review when this play was off Broadway, when it had returned off Broadway.
Okay.
So it's written by the playwright was Little Michaela. Do you remember Little Michaela, the AI Instagram account?
No.
It was like a woman. Look up Little Michaela right now.
Okay. Googling.
It was like this fake, it was like a Shane Dawson kind of conspiracy theory thing where it was like this Instagram account that was obviously kind of a fake woman, but it looked kind of real and she would always say that she was real or whatever. He wrote all of her posts.
What?
And the play itself is kind of based on that, where it's about this young woman who has been let go from her tech job after having a public mental breakdown and going viral for a video for having a public mental breakdown. And she goes into the therapy session and she brings a gun because she wants basically to be like, I'm going to go back to work. Like, you need to write that I'm able to go back to work.
Oh my God.
And it's just them in the therapy room for 80 minutes, no intermission. And it was fantastic. Like, it was really well written. It was the only time I've really seen a play recently, and the entire time I've been like actively on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
I've been like, what's going to happen? I think the gun is just good for that. And it was directed in the round, and it's a small theater. So I had to sit like front row. And there's only 3 rows, but it's like in the round, whatever. So you're kind of like, it really feels like, oh, she's going to shoot him with this gun. Like, it was really effective.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to see it. How long is it playing?
I think it's playing only for like a week or so more.
Damn it. That's always the good plays who do that. I feel like
it was expensive. I was surprised. It was $70 a ticket. I was like, what the fuck? That's like where the joke came from, where I was like, if the play's bad, I'm opening my laptop. I paid $70.
I feel like that's like cheap for like.
Are you fucking kidding? I know, but I was like, I come from comedy.
The way the tickets are priced is actually.
Well, there's such a comp culture in comedy too. Like,
yeah.
if my friends are coming to a show, I'll be like,
don't pay.
I'll give you a comp. Like, I will get you a free ticket.
Yeah.
Don't pay. So whenever I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm paying $70 to do a favor for you.
But then it's so hard because like all these people who do the expensive plays are the only people who buy tickets to my comedy shows.
So you have to go.
So I have to go because I'm like, well, fuck, I made you go to like 17 improv shows and you paid for all of them.
Yeah.
So I have to buy one $50 ticket because you fucking like quote unquote supported me or whatever.
Whatever.
Lame-o.
Yeah.
Whatevs. Well, that's really fun.
It was amazing. I was really happy that it was good. I'm like, so often you see stuff that's like, whatever. It was really well written and it feels kind of like the answer for like kind of young theater. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know the guy's kind of like Dime Square adjacent, which is like a scene that I find like abhorrent and so fucking boring.
What's Dime Square? Am I stupid?
Honestly, no, you're not stupid. You're just not chronically online in the way I'm chronic. Like, this is good.
I would be. I just can't use the internet anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know the search terms.
It's like this like subset of like droll, unaffected New York City rich kids.
Okay, no, I know
They were the ones that partied during the pandemic, and they'll write like
Yeah.
indiscernible auto fiction and publish it as if it's worth reading. Like,
okay, wait. Why aren't we a part of this?
I know. It's like,
hello.
It's like
indiscernible autofiction. Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hello.
It's like, I do find it to be quite annoying.
Yes.
And he's kind of adjacent to it, where it's like, I think he's not like a part of it, but like whatever. It's whatever. And I was worried that it'd be very kind of like unaffected.
Yeah.
And it was good
about this life.
It was really, really good. It was very like kind of earnest in that way. There was a couple moments, I don't know if this was direction or if this is in the original play, where like something will be said and then there'll be the sound of a big clock ticking.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Where I'm like, well, I'm out of it now. Why is the clock ticking or whatever, you know? But I'm like, that's very play.
It's very play. Well, sometimes you see something and the direction is so boring. Yeah. It's like, it makes you feel pretentious. When I saw Angels in America, that's how I felt. Because I was like, this is like, I think like widely regarded as one of the best plays ever written.
Yep.
And the direction is so uninspired.
Yeah.
There was one really cool kind of like jaw-dropping moment.
Yeah.
And then like the rest of it, like, they didn't even think about sight lines.
That's crazy.
I sound pretentious.
No, but I know what you mean.
You didn't even think about sight lines.
But I know what you mean.
Because like I can't see half the characters.
I thought it was well directed because that was in the round 2, right?
That was an alley.
I mean, it like it was in an alley?
No, it was like in alley seating. So
okay.
The stage ran through and then there were audiences on either side.
Because they had one recently that was in the round too, right?
It was probably the same one.
Okay.
Some of the pictures looked like it was in the round.
Okay, because I have my sister's friends, when they went to see it and they went to the bathroom and they were walking back to their seats, the lights went down. So they were like, oh, we got to run to our seats. And then they clotheslined an actor.
That's really funny. When I went to see it, I got yelled at 3 times by theater staff, which is actually crazy.
What were you doing?
Nothing. I tried to bring a cup of water into the theater, and they're like, you can't do that. Can't remember what else I did. They yelled at me for walking on the stage, even though I wasn't walking on the. They were like, you can't walk on the stage. I was like, I'm not.
I'm just close to it.
Stop yelling at me. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, and then because they were maybe it was a mask thing. They wanted people to wear masks or something. I can't remember.
But just ask with a smile.
Just ask with a smile. Don't yell at me. But then, it's always like, well, someone's been through shit if they're screaming immediately. Like,
I know. I try to.
They've been screamed at.
Yeah. I was watching a Robbie Hoffman bit earlier today. I love Robbie Hoffman.
Oh, God.
Maybe my favorite comedian right now.
Like Joe Rogan for the lesbians.
Literally.
Robbie Hoffman,
I am
iconic.
obsessed with her. And she was saying I was like deep in her tagged Instagram.
You were too online. Carley, for context, has had her iPhone back for 2 days.
I know.
Deep in the Robbie Hoffman tags.
I know. Okay, so this is also news, and then I'll talk about the Robbie Hoffman thing. My flip phone stopped working in Canada. They like blocked it.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna go to the Dufferin Mall this weekend and get a new one. But it's gonna be like, I'm gonna do what you've often said is the peak of internet, of like iPod Touch.
Yes.
And flip phone.
Yes.
Where I'm gonna get a flip phone. And I'm worried. I think I have to switch to Telus, so I might lose my number, which is so annoying.
You should be able to keep your number if you
think
switch.
So?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I switched my numbers a bunch of times, and then one time the phone people were like, you actually don't have to switch your number every time you do this. And I was like, oh.
Well, that's good to know.
Great. I'll keep the same number.
Yeah. This was actually on my laptop. I was on my laptop on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But yeah, I have had my iPhone back for 2 days. I've bricked it. Do you know what the brick? Do you know what the brick is?
Is that like where you get like a little like
a brick
metal box? I get ads for it all the time.
Yeah, it's like a little kind of magnet. I put it on my fridge, and my phone is basically shut down besides phone,
cool,
texting, whatever. Until I tap it on that.
I kind of thought, not gonna lie, that was a scam. So I'm kind of shocked
that it's real.
That it's real, and you've purchased one.
They sent one to me. Yeah,
they sent one to you.
Yeah,
they were like, "You're on your phone way too much, bitch."
Yeah, they're like, "We've seen you online."
Nice. Okay.
So that's good. Like, I'm not really on it that much. Like, I was on the way over here because I also don't have headphones that fit in my iPhone, so I'm really raw dogging reality right now. Just walking and going everywhere, just thoughts, only thoughts.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good. Like, it really makes me feel like a superhero. I'm
only
like,
thoughts.
I'm out here.
Only fans for the mentally ill.
Yes, only thoughts.
Only thoughts.
Yeah, so I was deep in Robbie Hoffman's tagged Instagram photos.
Yeah.
And there was one that was just like her kind of like riffing with this guy, whatever. And she was saying that she was the reverse Ellen. That like how everyone thinks Ellen is nice, and it was revealed that she was a terror. Everyone thinks that she's mean, and one day, but she's actually a delight. She's like, one day it's going to come out that I'm actually really nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's us.
Oh,
where it's like people think we're mean, and I'm like, it's actually gonna come out one day as big news that like we're very pleasant people.
Yeah, we're like fun at parties.
Yeah, we're nice to people.
Yeah,
we help people if they ask for directions. That kind of thing.
Pick up old ladies.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, honestly, I fucking love Robbie Hoffman for that reason.
Yeah.
I wish I saw her when she was here. I like meant to buy tickets, and then I'm honestly just stupid. Do you ever feel that where you're like mean to do something and then you don't do it just because like you're like, well, I failed at that task?
Yeah, definitely. If it doesn't happen the first time, it's not going to happen. It's kind of how I feel.
Yes.
If we're like, let's get tickets for this, and then we don't do it,
I know
it's not going to happen.
I know. Me and a couple of friends were talking about getting Kesha tickets, kind of as a joke, and then no one actually brought up the webpage, and so now we're not seeing Kesha.
It's not going to happen.
And you know what? It's fine. Honestly, anytime someone's not like really pushing me to buy like $100 concert ticket, I'm like, probably.
Oh,
that's
big
fine.
ding.
That is. Oh, okay. That was interesting.
What is it?
I have my do not disturb on except for my sister, but my sister only texts me about like like inconsequential things. How do I turn off my ringer on this thing?
Just mute the.
Don't know how to do anything.
Just click that.
Can I do that? Well,
yes, it will still.
Yes,
because it's just so it's actually just muting it. It doesn't turn off the audio recording.
Fuck off.
For the audio
I
listeners,
don't know how to do things anymore.
Blair was asking how to turn off her ringer on her computer.
I don't know how to do it.
And I said, just turn it off like with the mute button. And she was like, would that kind of stop us from recording the podcast?
That sounds stupid when you say it, but in my head, it seemed like a big concern.
There's just, you're so competent and so wise regularly that there's very few moments that I get to kind of really lord my knowledge over you.
It's computer stuff.
And it's only computer.
We're really learning.
And it's not even coding or anything. I don't know how to fucking code.
No.
It's like only base level computer proficiency. Yeah.
Well, because I got this new computer. So now I'm in my tech era. I bought a computer.
It's beautiful.
I also got a flash drive.
Yeah.
That's the podcast going to be huge.
That's huge. So yeah, guys, listen. You're listening to now a really tech heavy podcast. Soon enough, we'll get a camera that doesn't stop recording every 20 minutes.
But let's not dream too big, Carley.
I know. Well, this camera that I use for my YouTube that also does this. It only records every 20 minutes because it's a video camera.
You're stressed out.
I know,
girl. Get a new camera. Sell your brick and get a camera. Come on.
They're so expensive.
Yeah.
I know.
It's your job.
I know.
Your job is camera.
I know.
I feel like you got to be able to get on a payment plan or something like that. Like, come on, it can't be that hard.
I know.
I've seen you buy so many things.
I know. But now I don't. Really.
Yeah, because you're on your no-buy year.
Yeah, so now I bought a pair of jeans. And
Where'd you buy your jeans from also, I meant to ask?
They were Levi's.
Nice. Go with the classics.
Yeah, it was a dad jean. I wanted kind of like a masculine, wide leg black jean that I could wear.
Huge.
We were talking about this before we started recording, but I'm in my no-buy year, so the thing is I can only buy secondhand things, but and buy 4 new things in the course of the whole year. And I bought my first new thing, which was jeans.
Whoa.
Because I'm turning 26 this year. My body is now readying itself for children.
Yeah.
It also probably is because I had to put all my clothes in the hot dryer a bunch of times for the bed bugs. But I have like 4 pairs of jeans that fit me, which is a lot of jeans. That's actually what I'm saying it out loud. That's a lot of jeans.
Yeah, but like it's not, because like it's not like every jean you can wear every day.
This is what I'm saying.
This is what this is what men don't understand.
This
because
is
men
wear the same pair of
will
jeans.
put jeans on, they'll sleep in them, they'll go to work, and then they'll go to the fucking Met Gala
in the same pair of jeans.
In the same damn pair of jeans.
iPhone in the front pocket.
Disgusting.
What is wrong with you?
I have sitting jeans, standing jeans, in between jeans.
Yeah, I have the jeans that I wear to the movies or whatever. They're big.
Yes.
They're like, I can sit, I'm out and about.
Oh, yeah.
I've got cute jeans, which is kind of standing jean adjacent.
Standing jean is like a party jean.
A party jean.
Like a jean that you wear when like you look good in them, but like you're not lounging in them.
They're not comfortable necessarily.
No, like these like make my ass look good.
And then I have a kind of base level casual jean that I could wear out that feels like I could wear it to like a dinner or like a brunch, but like not like a fancy dinner or a fancy brunch.
Yeah, it's like a bit more structured, still like kind of comfy, but like again, it's not your movie lounging jean.
Slimmer, yeah. And then I have like we usually have a black wide leg that's like a fancy jean. That's kind of like if we're not wearing dress pants or whatever, but you need to wear something that's kind of like business casual.
It's a smart jean.
A smart jean.
Yes, yeah. I agree. I'm lacking like I'm lacking like a true casual jean right now. Even though I have more jeans right now than I've ever had in my life.
Love.
But they've just all come to me randomly. Like I don't mean to sound like
I would love but I would love to be able to thrift jeans. But who's thrifting jeans?
It's hard.
It's really hard.
One of my favorite pairs of jeans I thrifted, and it was like the most like innocuous occurrence. Like it's like
you're like
fully not my size from the men's section.
Wow.
Like it was just kind
That's
of like
huge.
I was like, oh, I'll try these on, whatever, and it was like, oh my god, but now they're ripping. It's so sad.
That's so sad.
But why do we get on jeans?
I bought something new and I wasn't buying a camera, but I bought my pair of jeans.
You should buy a camera.
I know. I really should.
You also could definitely buy a secondhand camera.
Yeah, I know you're right. All of this right now, because we were talking beforehand about how we're both so busy right now, it seems actually, the fact that I already have to go to the fucking mall and get a phone and switch providers, like, makes me want to buy a gun and kill myself.
And no one is meaner and
unhelpful.
A bigger enemy to young women than men who work at cell phone stores.
I know.
I'll say it.
No, it's so true. The last time I went to get a phone, my dad was just with me. Like, he was just weird
like
at
a
the
bodyguard.
Mall. Yeah. And the guy kept talking to him, and I was like, he's not buying a phone.
Yeah, I'm buying a phone.
He doesn't know fucking anything about this. Women are better at phones than men.
100%.
So why are you even looking at him? You should be looking at me.
Men are just like, I want a customizable Android.
Yeah, and you're like, why would you do that?
It's crazy.
So anyways.
I feel like I'm biding my time till I need a new phone because like my battery just does not.
Yeah, just absolutely.
I'm at the like carrying a charger in my bag stage of my phone, which is when you know that is like the gong.
Yeah, it's over.
What is it? The gong.
The bell is tolling
for my phone in a big way.
For whom?
For whom the bell tolls. It's for my iPhone 13.
Woo!
Which just feels like that wasn't that long ago.
No, I don't even know what we're on right now.
I don't know what we're on either.
I feel like I tuned out at X. The iPhone, the 10. That was when I stopped.
I miss my iPhone XR. Yeah. That was the best phone I've ever had in my life.
I feel like the best phone I ever had was the first iPhone that was square and not round.
Oh, 4S?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was huge.
Yeah.
That was really huge.
That was a good one. I had
it's downhill. It's downhill
because I kept smashing them.
When did you have your 4S? How old were you?
18.
Okay, because I was going to say, I'm sure your parents loved that.
No, my parents have never bought me a single phone.
That's what I figured. I figured. Once you said you're 18, I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no. I had, they helped me with my first ever like flip phone that I got because I lived in a dangerous neighborhood and needed to walk home.
Yes.
And after that, they've never given me $1 for my phone or my phone bill.
Yeah.
So whenever people are like, my parents just pay for my phone bill, the phone bill is the worst bill.
You
Canada,
think?
At least.
You don't think hydro?
No. Phone bill.
Wow.
Unless you have really expensive hydro.
Yeah.
Which maybe you do because you've kind of got like a rickety house.
Yeah. I feel like my hydro is worse than my phone bill. But also my phone bill's been so fucking cheap.
How much is your hydro?
It ends up being like, I'm really bad at paying it, guys. So it ends up kind of compounding. But
that's me and my phone bill, though.
It's really expensive.
I finally put it on automatic
It's like
payments.
I end up playing like, I know I have to do that. I end up paying like $70 or $80 a month.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's not great.
My phone bill's like $100 a month.
Oh my God.
It's cheaper now that I paid off my tab. Like I didn't own my phone.
Yeah.
So now
I always forget that that's what the phone bill also kind of includes, is like paying off the phone.
I know, it's so stupid.
Are you guys enjoying this? Is this entertaining?
You know what? Get with it. We can move on to the topic though.
Let's talk about the topic.
Because we are girls on a schedule today.
Yeah.
So today we're going back into the Kennedys.
Okay.
When I say that the Kennedys are becoming a real true life obsession of mine.
Yeah, I'm obsessed too. Did you see that? Oh, something Jack, because I always love when Jack Schlossberg pops up in the news because he just tweets crazy shit. He's JFK's grandson.
Ugh, iconic.
Love him. Unless he did something crazy, then I don't.
Then we hate him.
Then we hate him.
But didn't he do that like really slutty photo shoot with Vogue where he's like lying on a desk like covered in paper?
Yes. He did, and he was also the one that said that like, because he talked online a while ago, being like, people on the left. I mean, and people on the left do, but I think he meant Democrats like don't utilize saying shocking things online in the same way that people on the right do, which is true.
He's got a point.
Whether or not that's good or bad is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But like,
it's a take.
Yeah, and he was saying something about how Jackie O was way hotter than any other, I think, like Republican first lady, and everyone's like, "That's your grandma." And he's like, "Yeah." Like, he just says crazy shit. He was in the news recently for some other reason. Talk about RFK. I think he says crazy shit about RFK, which honestly RFK deserves.
And he hates RFK.
Yes.
I feel like most of the Kennedys kind of like
hate RFK.
They disown him.
Yeah.
Also because like the Kennedys are such Democrats. It's almost like weird. It's like Sirius Black being a Gryffindor. Am I right, ladies? Boo, boo, boo. I was thinking that we could fan cast some of the Kennedys today.
I love that.
Even though that they are real people with like photographs that we can look up.
But that's boring.
But we've done it in the past, and I think that like there are some that I feel like are very like recognizable.
Yeah.
But then others that I feel like are less so.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about like young JFK, like pre-war.
Hot.
Because we talked about that a bit last episode, but I feel like it's just like good to get like a bit more.
Let's get ourselves all the way up to war so we can just talk about the war.
Yeah. And then I think we're just going to kind of like go tragedy by tragedy.
And ain't that an amazing way for your family story to be told?
It's
if
so
only
nice.
My family story could be told tragedy by tragedy.
I wish that my family had a Wikipedia page called the MacMillan Curse.
Oh my God.
That just lists all my loved ones who died in horrific ways.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's normal and nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so do you want to do fan casting first? Or do you want to do the history first?
Let's do fan casting first.
Okay, JFK.
Okay. And we're doing like a young JFK?
I think we're doing young JFK because we'll cast other characters as they come up.
Maybe Paul Mescal?
Paul Mescal? Okay, with or without accent?
Without.
Because
JFK's like, wow. Like he's got like a fucking crazy accent.
Kid.
No, it's like, have you heard JFK speak?
Yeah.
It's insane.
No, he's got a nuts voice.
It's like park the car and Harvard, yeah. It's like that, but like it's like that's not a bad Boston accent. That's how he sounds.
Yeah. It's crazy how like so many stereotypical accents were just like really the accents of certain times.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Well,
okay.
Also like the East Coast accent. Like we don't really have an equivalent. I guess we do. It'd be like a Newfoundlander accent.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the same kind of thing of you're like, whoa, hey,
what the fuck are you talking about?
It seems like you got this accent maybe because you live on a port.
Yeah. It sounds like you.
This is kind of every accent. This is every accent altogether.
It's crazy that like just imagine sailing up and down the ports.
I don't want to.
Of the Atlantic Ocean. What a
That's
do you know
life.
the song Downeaster Alexa by Billy Joel?
Of course, yeah.
I listen to that and I cry thinking about being a fisherman.
I think you could have been a fisherman in a past life.
Thank you. So you don't think I could be one now?
I don't think you could be now.
What the fuck?
I don't think that.
So
I think that
fucked
you're.
So fucked up of you to say.
I just kind of think you're used to a certain quality of life.
I don't think I am.
Okay, it just feels like.
I don't think I love my life to feel like shit.
I think it'd be a lot of standing.
I want to be wet more.
And I think it'd be a lot of cold and a lot of wet. I think it'd be like your socks are always
really
wet.
Damp,
your socks are just gonna be wet.
It's like how when I learned that people wear wool sweaters in like wet climates because the wool soaks up the water.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, that sounds just terrible.
Yeah. And we live in a place that's
that.
got famously ass weather.
Yeah.
And that sounds terrible to me. And our weather is bad.
No, our weather is awful. It's been bad this week. Like, it's been beautiful and then awful. There was a horrifying rainstorm last night. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
There was a huge crash of thunder. I thought I was going to die.
Oh, no.
Okay. Joe Jr., JFK's older brother.
Okay.
I feel he's got to be hot.
Yeah.
And he dies
young.
So he's got to be young and like really hot. I feel like maybe like a Jacob Elordi.
Oh, I like that. Jacob
Like
Elordi.
Joe Jr.
Big,
and because he is a lot bigger than JFK also and hotter. So I don't know if Jacob Elordi is hotter than Paul Mescal.
But I think both of them kind of have the quality that I think is kind of Kennedy-esque of like they're not actually hot, but then they are hot.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've just got such a
there's a vibe
presence.
Yeah.
Okay, Rosemary Kennedy, the sister
So
who gets
sad.
a lobotomy. Yeah, I think right now we're debating either doing Rosemary next week or Joe Jr. next week.
Okay.
Both of them will be sad, so pick your poison.
I think we've got to do Joe Jr.
Yeah.
Third episode of this season cannot be the saddest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's the first tragedy.
I know.
It's the first tragedy, so technically it should be first.
Sound off in the comments, guys. Blair will read them and respond. I won't.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
I'll read them and respond.
On her personal account.
On my personal account. Don't worry, I don't know how to log into the Spotify. Okay, Rosemary. I feel like
we always bring her up, but I always love to throw I was going to say, I love to throw a role to Hunter Schafer.
Oh, yeah. No, Hunter Schafer, I think, would really embody the character of Rosemary. Yeah. It's very tragic.
Yeah. Let her cook.
And then I think Kit Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, who dies in the plane crash. Who's like the younger sibling, could be Rachel Zegler.
I was going to say, Rachel Zegler. I like that.
Yeah, because she's like kind of like the heiress. She's like, everyone falls in love with her, but like she doesn't fall in love with anybody in return. Unless they're high status British royalty.
And hey.
Queen for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Eunice.
What's some information on Eunice?
Eunice is mostly
I've simply never heard of them. And I know a lot about this.
Eunice is a big Rosemary supporter. She's a sister.
Okay.
She's the fifth kid, I think. Fourth 5th.
Should we give it to Rachel
5th.
Sennett? Do you think Rachel Sennett can really do something with that role?
Yeah, I think Rachel Sennett could bring it her own twist.
Yeah, we
Rachel
kind of just let her do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah. I like that that's the like angle we've taken with Rachel Sennett. It was just sort of like
let her do what she wants to do.
In there.
Yeah.
Just throw her in there. Okay. Patricia, quite frankly, I don't think comes up enough to really
She could be an unknown.
Yeah, let's cast like
a complete unknown.
A complete unknown. A real upstart.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy. I feel like
it's hard because I think that you need like the kind of Timothée Chalamet boyishness, but somebody with way more charisma than Timothée Chalamet. You honestly need like Zendaya. Like you kind of need like
I'm down to have Zendaya.
Zendaya as Bobby Kennedy.
Zendaya as Bobby Kennedy.
If you have a problem with it, take to the streets.
Check yourself.
Democracy dies in silence.
And why do you have that? Why do you have that thought that Zendaya can't play Bobby Kennedy? Racist.
Check your privilege. At the door, bitch.
Jean Kennedy, who served as the U.S. ambassador to Ireland.
Okay. Iowa Debris.
Yeah. We're just throwing them in now. We're just like, fuck it.
First thought is the correct thought.
Yeah. It's like, no, and we're not questioning
And we're not questioning. We're going to accept the first name that comes to mind.
And then Ted Kennedy, who hangs around forever.
Ooh.
I feel like that could be Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
Just like pervasive through the years.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody who's like weirder. Lucas Gage.
Yes.
Ted Kennedy's Lucas Gage.
Ted Kennedy. Okay, and then the parents, Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy and Joe Sr.
Okay.
I feel like we've got to have like a real kind of like prissy
woman,
older woman. Like I almost wanted to be like the grandma from Gilmore Girls, like Emily Gilmore.
Oh, we should get her. I love her.
She died.
What?
I think.
No.
She
just released a book like this year.
Really?
Yes.
Are we sure?
Yeah, look this up.
I'm gonna look it up. Fuck, I always do this. I always think people died.
The grandpa died.
Yeah, he died a while ago.
He died on the show, I think.
Oh.
Like, I think he died when the show was filming.
If you love on your own. Kelly Bishop. Oh, yeah, she's alive. Sorry, Kelly Bishop.
That really
She's a bit too old.
me.
I feel like she could be the mom later on.
Okay.
Like later on. But right now, they're kind of just like still in their like 40s.
Okay.
So, like, what's like someone who's got like real kind of like status, who's a real like, I can only think of older women. I can't think of anyone like younger who's got that kind of like,
yeah,
you know, like prissiness about them.
J-Lo?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
And Ben Affleck is the dad?
Yeah. Okay. J-Lo and Ben Affleck are the Kennedy parents.
Great.
Okay, perfect.
And why do you have a problem with that?
Because
J-Lo is Latina?
Because J-Lo, she goes and gets the orange drink. Did you ever see that clip where she's like, you get the orange drink and you know what I'm saying because she was like, I'm from the Bronx, and you would go and get the bacon, egg, and cheese and the orange drink.
And everyone's like, what the hell is the orange drink?
The orange drink. And then someone posted once like that they were in a bodega in Brooklyn or in the Bronx, and there was a thing just called orange drink.
And you're like, she was right the whole time.
Damn. We should have
believed her.
We should have believed J-Lo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really good cast.
We did that.
I think we can just add on people as they come.
Great.
Because I'm really going to have to mull on who's playing Jackie.
Yes, Yes, I think we got to think about Jackie.
Okay, another character who I want to cast, though, right now is Lem Billings.
Okay.
You know Lem Billings?
Yeah.
He hasn't really come up yet, but he's like JFK's like best friend.
Oh,
like they meet in
yes.
Catholic school, and they are just like buddies forever.
Yeah.
And he's kind of important in the way that like he gives JFK that bisexual flair.
And we love that. Are there any bisexual actors who we should have be playing JFK for a more authentic portrayal? Kit Connor.
God, the way I cast Kit Connor
as everything. Kit Connor and Rachel Zegler.
Okay, Kit Connor can be JFK, and then Paul Mescal can be Lem Billings.
Great. Is that age gap weird?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
yeah, it's absolutely bizarre.
Okay.
What we're doing is weird.
Fair.
I think our most inspired casting is Zendaya's Bobby Kennedy.
I think that's really beautiful.
She's really going to embody it.
I think she's really going to do something with it, and this is her bid for an Oscar. It's time.
Yeah. Fuck Ronnie Spector.
No.
Let's go straight to Bobby Kennedy.
Go straight to Bobby Kennedy.
Girl, don't skip it. Okay. That's a good fan cast. Anyone else we should cast right now? I'm trying to think. I think that's it.
I don't think so. I think there's going to be more people who kind of come up as like the...
Yes.
Like, you know, as the presidential kind of shit happens.
Wait to fan cast Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, of course.
That's going to be we're gonna make some
Sydney
enemies
Sweeney,
that day.
keep your pipes warm.
Good God, can I just? It's too bad because she is a great actor.
She's just. I think her team is. I mean, she's obviously in control of her own choices, but I'm like,
her team's got to be horrible, right?
I'm like, girl, I wanted to eat a role. I want her to eat and destroy a role because she's a fantastic actress.
Yes, no, she's great.
But she needs to have a high profile, like, you know. She obviously wants to kind of be a movie star, which like I respect. And obviously, like, that's not me. So like, do whatever you want. You obviously know a bit more than me. But I just really think like she's doing herself a disservice by like people not thinking of her as a good actor, even though she's genuinely a fantastic actor.
Oh no, she's great. I think
she's Millie Bobby Browning herself.
I know. There's something I really want to say, but I'm terrified because on this podcast, we made fun of 2 people in the past that I've ended up meeting this year.
Yes.
And now I can't say what I want to say.
And yes.
Because now I'm going to manifest accidentally meeting Sydney Sweeney. And then I'm going to have to hide a clip where I say that she should put her boobs away.
Yeah. So some of your opinions are so adjacent to a male manipulator's. It's like one of those things where it's like, it's fine coming from you.
But it's out of her interests. Like her interests.
Yeah. Girl, you look so good without all that clown paint. You know, girls when girls wear makeup, all that clown paint.
All that clown paint. I just like don't
wear that.
Put
your boobs away.
Put your boobs away.
And put your reading glasses on.
Yeah. Read a book.
Read a book, maybe.
Sydney Sweeney do that like graphic of the hot girl picking up a book and then turning into a nerd.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. I'm fully in support of women having big boobs and having their big boobs out.
Yeah, you are.
I think she just went a bit too tits forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then she just got all these creepy male fans that have made things harder for her to be taken seriously, which is a bummer. I hate that's the world that we live in.
I agree.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate when women are mistreated. Makes me so fucking angry.
God.
Oh, man, if I
feel sick right now.
Girlfriend. Oh my God, if I had a girlfriend with big tits, I'd be sick.
I would protect her so much. I would really protect. Like, I would treat her like a king.
I would join army.
I would join the army.
I'd join the army and learn how to shoot a gun.
We were talking the other day about in Arrested Development. Because Buster joins the army and they just call it army without the or whatever. And there's one point where they're like, why are you here? And he goes, army had a half day. And I think about army had a half day.
Army had a half day.
You joined army? Yes, I joined army. That show's really, really funny.
I love those types of jokes where it's like, it's not anything. It's just saying something weird.
Yeah. You joined army? Yeah, I joined army.
I had a sketch that we wrote that we put into like a couple of film festivals, and one of the only contributions I made to it was that like we were talking about knives.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think we should just say knives every time. Just say it wrong.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny. No one laughed. I was like, this is the funniest shit.
You guys hate me.
So you guys hate me.
Okay.
I had an idea for a sketch and I have no idea how we would ever film it because I don't know how the fuck we would do this. But you know those like influencer videos that are like, come with me to Toronto's like newest escape room.
Yeah.
Like that. But then in the background, there's just like 2 people fucking.
I love that.
The whole time.
Yeah, we have to figure out how to simulate sex in a way that Instagram won't immediately take down the video. Where are you going to put this?
No, but like, isn't that funny?
Yeah, it is funny.
I don't know. Maybe I should send that to Pornhub.
Are they doing original comedy content?
Yeah, dude. Not like original, but like then they could make the fucking reel.
Yeah.
Pornhub does comedy.
Is that true? I don't spend a lot of time on Pornhub. I respect women.
I'm pretty sure.
Unlike you.
Yeah, I don't respect women. I just send hate mail to Sydney Sweeney and then log into Pornhub.
Put your boobs away. Put your boobs away. And then you just watch Pornhub videos.
No, original comedy porn content, actually. Thank you very much, Carley.
And you listen to your male manipulator music and shake your fist at the sun about Taylor Swift.
I make a smoothie with like 8 raw eggs in it.
Yeah, you really could fall into the manosphere.
Okay, so as we said, we're going over like a young JFK.
Hot.
Yeah.
How young?
Like child.
Yes.
23. And a bit of like the home life and stuff.
Great.
So we've already talked a bit about this, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just like
He's kind of the main character, unfortunately.
Kind of
like we do need to get a bit of context for what the Kennedy life was like.
Yes.
So that we can kind of see the machine that's built these people.
And it's so interesting too, because like, I do think that like little bits of like who the Kennedys were come out with like each individual story.
Yeah.
Like the story of Joe Sr. is so different than the story of like Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like those are completely different experiences within the family.
Yeah.
But this family, weird. So this is from the Kennedy website, like the Kennedy Library website.
So, grain of salt.
Grain of salt. But like it says that Rose Kennedy, the mother, had like little note cards about everything that happened with the kids, like super, super organized. Mm-hmm. And so she had like little note cards about like when JFK was born, when all the kids were born. Like she would just document them on note cards and put them away.
Okay. Neurodivergent queen.
Yeah, literally. She had 9 children. So a lot.
That's a lot of note cards.
So JFK, and as we know him, Jack Kennedy, was not a very healthy baby. She had note cards that documented that he had whooping cough, measles, and chicken pox. And when he was 2 years old, he got like a crazy, crazy bad scarlet fever.
Yikes.
They like thought he was going to die.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah. They were like, scarlet fever is, if you remember, what Edward Cullen died from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, it's what he had when he got turned into a vampire.
Yeah, of course. I think it's also what made Helen Keller
scarlet fever wasn't great. Sorry. No, Edward Cullen was the Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu, yeah.
Damn. I'm a fool.
Because he was the 20s.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't flex my Twilight knowledge because you definitely have more Twilight knowledge
But
than
the thing that's sick about that is it's all adult accumulated Twilight knowledge. It's none of it is genuine.
Yeah,
none of it is.
You weren't like a fan as a tween.
No, because the stuff that I was a fan of as a tween, I've got really murky knowledge on.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's in my bones. It's not research as an adult. I've just seen those fucking movies 9,000 times.
Yeah, so you know it.
Yeah.
So they thought that he was gonna die. He like eventually made a turn for the better and recovered, which is great. But like his family were very much like, you are super sickly. He was very small. He was very sick. At one point, he just got really sick and wasn't really growing at all between like 13 and 16, like barely grew at all. One doctor prescribed him to drink more milk. Yeah. Which didn't help, obviously.
Well, also that's how you get bone tuberculosis. So
he needed to drink milk.
Yeah.
Oh, you get tuberculosis from drinking milk?
Yeah, unpasteurized milk.
What?
So that's how a lot of people got bone tuberculosis in the past, is because they were drinking from milk. It's not from now. You wouldn't get it now. They test the cows now.
Horrifying.
And that's a big thing when people are like raw milk movement. It's like you're going to get tuberculosis.
That's crazy.
You're going to get a disease.
I also don't understand raw milk. Like how can milk be raw? Like fix your milk.
Cook it.
Like what? Just say what it is. It's milk straight from the udder.
Dirty milk.
Yes, dirty milk. Fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
There was also a point when he was in Catholic school and he was like 13 years old that he spent like basically the whole semester in hospital, and like basically none of his family visited him. Jesus. And he just has like reports of him being like, today I got an enema, I got a rod shoved up my butt, I got like a tube shoved down my nose. Like they didn't know what he had. He was like this big medical mystery. They eventually, I think, diagnosed him with like colitis or something.
Oh, that's so funny.
But he was like very sick.
Yeah,
like he was not well.
No, but it's just one of those things like in the past they weren't able to diagnose anything. So it's like to get a rod shoved up your ass.
I know.
To get diagnosed with colitis is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So he was unwell, in and out of hospital. Like
he's kind of me coded.
Yeah, I was thinking that a little bit, but I didn't want to say it. I was like, so Carla's been JFK coded.
I was like, I can't wait to get my brains blown out on your pink blazer on the first Girl Historians tour.
Yay! Woo! Oh, I hope that doesn't happen. It'd be really sad.
Yeah, definitely. It was sad for Jackie.
Yeah, I imagine. What's that? It's terrible because sometimes I feel like this is sad and happened to real people, but that photo where like she's crawling out of the car and like someone just commented like, damn, Jackie got cake. I'm like, that's nuts.
That is so nuts.
I did laugh.
Well, because it's so horrible. That's why
terrible.
It's funny. It's funny because it's horrible.
Like, what do you mean her husband's been murdered? And you're like, nice
this is a photo of it of seconds after it happened.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Horrifying. Anyway.
And on that note. So he's very sickly in general. By the time that Jack was 8 years old, there were 7 children in the family.
That is so many kids, dude. That is so religious. And nothing but love to our religious community. We have kind of a lot of religious viewers. When we posted the Catholic thing, I was like, oh, people are religious.
But I feel like we have like
cool
religious. The cool religious.
Well, that is what it is. But I always forget
community-based religion.
I always forget that there's people who like actually just kind of believe in God.
Yes,
like in a good way. You know what I mean? But like it's not like they're not using it to like further their alt-right beliefs. They're just like, no, like I want to help y'all get into heaven.
Yeah, like Christian nationalism, I don't think represents the.
Yes,
beliefs
this is the whole thing of like, you know, when people
the teachings of God
are being Islamophobic and they're like, they just called for a day of jihad or whatever.
Yeah, so those things are different, actually.
Yeah, everyone's like, well, we're just like regular Muslims. Like we're just like praying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like we don't have access to that information.
No,
even if it was happening.
So it's like with Christian, I always have to separate Christians from Christian nationalists.
Yeah,
horrifying. You know, we have like the lesbian youth pastor audience.
Oh yes. And that's good.
I would be happy. I'm happy with that.
I love a gay pastor.
Yes, I agree.
Like pop off.
Oh my
Let's
God.
Go.
I would love to get married by like a gay pastor. Lesbian, obviously.
Lesbian, no gay man.
Old lesbian.
First of all, don't forget. Old lesbian. Yes. Old butch.
Yeah, gray hair.
Big belief in God.
He loves God.
Lesbians are really religious. Have you noticed? Did we talk about this on this?
Well, no, we haven't talked about this, but here's why I think it is.
Religious lesbians.
Because I think if in the queer community with women in general, there's a lot of spiritualism. There's a lot of woo-woo. There's a lot of crystals. There's a lot of astrology. Mm-hmm. And I think that those are a lot more like related than we like to talk about just because
absolutely.
Of like colonialism wiping out any kind of like, you know,
belief in the earth.
Yeah, exactly. Like any kind of indigenous religion is now.
The earth is for selling, not for believing in.
Nice try.
Nice try, idiots. Man who hasn't bathed.
Yeah.
in his entire life.
Man who just raped the entire village and burned it to the ground.
Man who invented smallpox blankets.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice try, idiots.
Actually, the earth is where our customers live.
Earth is where the customers live, and the trees are
in the way.
Worth money.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of that, and a lot of like
for hats.
pagan stuff.
Yes, for sure.
And beavers are for hats.
And beavers are for hats, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, like a lot of the pagan religions. And I wonder if there is just something to be said about like, I find it interesting how like alt-right terminology has branded. Recently I talk about this a lot because like alt-right terminology has branded like if you're a man, caring is gay.
Yes.
Like being an environmentalist is gay.
Yes.
Because he's a vegan, so being vegan is so gay.
It is.
If you're a man, like it's okay, homo, hi, gay.
Like, I think it's gayer to eat meat because what if the cow's a man and you're eating his meat?
Ew,
gay.
And being gay is bad.
Checkmate, gay vegans and meaty. Checkmate.
I think you saying gay vegans is actually undercut the point a bit.
Sorry.
But I wonder if there is something to be said about like if it is coded masculine in quotations. To not care, then it's coded feminine to really care about things bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And does that not open you up to like believing in things bigger than yourself, maybe?
That's a really good point.
That's
really beautiful. You should write that down. Put it in the book. Put it in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Yeah, well, like even like when guys just like shoot down astrology.
And also like newsflash, nothing is fucking real.
Yeah, like sorry, I'm trying to have fun.
Like everything is kind of to a certain like you could argue basically anything that people believe in to a certain extent is fake if you want to be a fucking asshole about it.
Yeah, like just don't be.
You want me to go in on the army, on football,
on army.
You want me to go in on army? You want me to go in on football,
on
fantasy
stocks?
Football? You've based an entire economy around the stock market.
Yeah,
and all you guys do is play video games, do bad things to women.
Yeah.
And do fantasy sports. Well, so why don't y'all look inwards for a bit?
Me, when all I do is be bad to women and play fantasy sports.
Y'all look inwards, fix the problems.
Yeah.
And that's to a specific hashtag, not all men, but that's to the specific kind of guy that's like, yeah. I just don't think that like where the moon was when I was born affects how blah, 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 blah.
It's like, who cares?
So actually it's fun.
People like to feel understood and also have fun.
Yeah.
Did you do your Enneagram?
I did a while ago. I think I'm a 4.
We should do that for the Patreon.
Oh, that's so fun.
We should do our Enneagrams because I did mine and it gave me like basically 3 all tied. So I feel like I need to retake it.
I redid my Myers-Briggs recently.
Oh yeah? What are you now?
Well, I was an INFP before and I still kind of am. I think here's my theory is that something about the test. It feels like everyone's an INFP, but maybe it's just that I'm only friends with people who are INFP or ENFP.
I feel like everyone I knew was INFP or ENFP or INFJ.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But maybe there is also a thing of like people going in groups. Like why would I ever be around someone that's sensing over feeling? Isn't that right? Or thinking over feeling? Because it's introverted, extroverted, intuitive sensing, feeling, thinking, and then perception, judgment.
Yeah. Like T is.
Why would I be with somebody who's thinking over feeling? Why would I be friends with somebody? Like, and it's more just being like, maybe the test overtypes people who are INF whatever or ENF whatever, or maybe the test, or maybe you just are only friends with people who are similar to you.
Yeah, I've thought about this. Also, like, there's some things in that test that, like, I feel like you would not want to answer honestly because it makes you feel like an asshole, where it's like, do you care more about your friends or about success? And it's like, well,
what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? Like, if I say that like I care more about success, I sound like an asshole. But also, like, those things aren't really equated.
That's what's hard about it. Is like, I don't know what you mean by care more. Like obviously, like I care more in my conscious mind about my friends than about success. But like, your actions aren't always going to support that. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyways,
like not really related.
No, I got right on the line of ENFP, INFP.
Oh, okay.
Because the problem with a lot of those tests is the introvert questions are like, are you nervous to talk to people? You know what I mean?
Or
like,
do you love everyone and you have a million friends?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I like talking to people. I like talking to strangers. I like getting to know people. I like going out with my friends. I like hanging out with my friends. Mm-hmm. But I also like, I kind of feel like maybe this is crazy. Somebody with more information about psychology, let me know. I feel like most people, it's like everyone's bi for introvert, extrovert. I'm like, I think we're all kind of the same.
I think that they're like every once in a while.
Everyone's both.
The one thing I do believe is I think that the true marker is sort of like how you recharge. So like if you're feeling really kind of worn down, do you recharge by like going out, being with people? Or do you recharge by like being by yourself, doing stuff solo? I think that's the only thing I believe in. And even then, I think that a lot of people who really identify, I've met true introverts and true extroverts. And so I do think it does happen. But like most of the time, I think it's situational. Like, I don't know.
It's like the Kinsey scale. It's like some people are 100% gay, some people are 100% straight, but most of us are in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but like introvert culture, I have qualms with. As somebody who like through the definition of how you recharge, like I am introvert. Like I like being alone. I need to be alone and to recharge and do my own thing. But like, and I like things that are kind of introvert coded. Like, you know, I like to garden,
cuddle up with a book,
and a tea instead of going to the club.
I can't go to the club. I have my book, tea, and garden.
Sorry, I've got plans tonight. Plans with my friends Bilbo,
Smaug, Dobby.
Dobby's in the fucking phone.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. What's the other one?
Schmeagol. Yeah,
you said that already.
No, I didn't.
Oh no. Okay.
I said Bilbo and Smaug because I was doing the Hobbit,
cool,
and then you said Frodo, which wouldn't really make any sense because that
I'm
would be a
so fucking. I'm on my stupid shit today. I'm saying stupid thing after stupid thing.
I'm on my stupid shit today.
Do you remember Girlicious?
No, but I'm fucking obsessed already.
It was the Pussycat Dolls reality show.
Okay, I didn't see this, but I love this.
To find a new girl group, and then they made a group called Girlicious.
No, I'm obsessed. It's like Pop Star Academy.
Oh. Yeah, but for like a new Pussycat Dolls that was like smaller and worse.
Yeah, in the past.
They had one song called Stupid Shit, and then another one called something else. And they were... obviously broke up immediately. They did not have a long and illustrious career.
Well, that's the thing that's, I think, tough about a girl group is it's like, if you don't have a good team behind you, then like, how is the girl group going to work?
And I saw Lady Gaga open for Girlicious.
Oh my God.
Canada's Wonderland. When she had one song out. Isn't that crazy?
That's so crazy.
When she had just released Dance Dance.
Dance Dance.
Dance Dance. Just Dance.
Just Dance. Okay. Dance. I thought Dance Dance was a deep cut I didn't know about.
No. Okay, so they had one song called Like Me, which is...
Oh, I do know this.
Oh, yeah. And then they had another one called Stupid Shit.
Oh. Fucking Blackpink found dead in a ditch.
And it's so funny too how like just the visuals of it is fucking crazy.
Can I see?
Like just this album cover is insane.
I do think obviously there's an argument to be made that some stuff now is uglier than before, but I think as a whole we've gone to a better place with aesthetics.
Yeah. I will say one thing about introvert, extrovert. I used to really identify with introvert, like really, really heavy. And I still do think if I had to pick one, I'd say I'm more introverted. But I think that like it actually isn't fun or cool to overly identify with either. Like, I think you're avoiding something about yourself.
Beef. This is what I agree. Yeah. I think this is my beef with the definition.
Yeah. And I think that, I think it's a little bit, my cousin said this to me like 10 years ago and it's really stuck with me, but she was like, don't you just choose to be an introvert or an extrovert? And I was like, damn.
In a way.
You're kind of, you might be onto something.
Yeah, that's what I mean, where it's like I see so many people who identify as introverts. And if this is how happy, like this is what I'm saying. Like, this is from people who like I watch online. So like the internet isn't real. Like maybe this is whatever. Yeah. But a lot of them at times it's people who like move to a city or move to a new place and they seem to kind of agonize over like not having friends. Mm-hmm. And moving is really, really isolating. Like I'm there. Like I've been there. Also like my university experience was fucking ass. I had a horrible time. I had fucking absolutely no friends. Mm-hmm. Like it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that I've been there. I know that. Mm-hmm. But, like, I do think there is if you're kind of fed, like, introvert propaganda in a way of how you're supposed to be.
Yeah. You're like, well, no one will understand me anyway.
Yes. It's very that of, like, no one understands me. I want the only type of vulnerable connection is, like, talking intimately about your fears with somebody who you've known forever.
Yeah.
The only, like, I can't be friends with people who are different than me, and I can't do things that are outside my comfort zone. And I just think that hurts you. And again, maybe I'm bringing my own shit to the table there, but I always just feel like when I see people who are like, oh, I don't have any friends, I'm always like, you got to go find them. Like, and it sucks if you are somebody who like kind of easily kind of more like rests on your laurels in that way. But I'm like, girl, get out there.
It's also like, it's hard to make friends by approaching it from a place of like, we need to immediately have like an extremely deep connection or a relationship isn't valuable. Like, most of my best friends I bonded with over like going to parties or having fun or like, you know what I mean? Like
just talking about random shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I hate this movement against small talk. Like
I agree.
It's my favorite kind of talks. I'm sorry that I don't always want to get into like your personal fucking traumas. And when you meet someone who like immediately like kind of dumps the worst thing in their life on you, it's a bit disconcerting.
Yeah, well, that's what they mean when they say they don't like small talk. They don't mean that they don't like, I'm fine being like, oh, we don't have to talk about the weather or whatever. I think that a lot of times the anti-small talk movement is coming more from this idea of like, and it is a movement.
And it is a movement. They have t-shirts.
Yes. It comes from this idea of being like, I want to be genuinely interested in people. Yeah. That's really what they mean, and that's fine. But there's also a group that seems more just like, I want to talk about my traumas at you. Where what I really like from that book, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, is this idea that like to play with someone is the most intimate thing you can do.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Where like joking around and just talking about random shit is way more vulnerable to me. It's like, it's not hard for me to tell you bad shit that's happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't really care who knows. Like I'm an open book about that stuff. So it doesn't really matter. But like to be silly or goofy, that's more vulnerable.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's get back to the Kennedys, I suppose. Because this isn't really like too much history. We mostly had to fan cast and we had to get an idea of how stuff's going on. And that's important. So there's a bunch of kids. Halfway through having kids, basically, Joe Sr. starts making a lot more money. And so they're like, great, we can afford more kids. They're like very much like, we are breeding.
That feeling when you're Catholic.
That feeling when you're Catholic. Oh my God, we haven't said it yet.
I know. We had to break this.
That feeling when you're Catholic.
That feeling when you're Catholic.
And you make a bit more money so you can make more kids.
When you this is my like kind of like blue collar comedy tour, being like, you know, you're Catholic when you start making money after having a lot of kids, and your first thought is, now I can have more kids.
Oh my God, that'll kill with the Catholic crowd.
Yeah, they're like, that's me.
That's me. I had more money and I had more kids. At the end of the school year, the Kennedy children would always go to their summer home at Hyannisport.
Must be fucking nice.
Must be nice. Which is Cape Cod. I just learned that Cape Cod is a whole cape and not a town, and I felt extremely. I'm on my stupid shit today. Like I
mean I knew that because I kind of lived.
Yeah, you kind of
there.
Grew up there.
I knew people who went to Cape Cod. Never was invited. I'm over it. Obviously,
that's like me in Muskoka. I'm like, whenever I get invited to a cottage, it's some fucking random. It's never in the Muskokas.
Yeah.
Like, so you guys fucking hate me?
Okay. Great. So what's the point of having rich friends?
So Hyannisport is where they go. It's in Cape Cod. It's this like sprawling
it's where Taylor
giant
Swift
house.
was when she was dating a Kennedy.
Yeah, true, in Hyannisport.
And they really ran that town. Like the Kennedy kids were kind of like run wild is what I remember. At least for the second generation. I don't know if it was the truth for like, not the first generation, but like I know for like the RFK kind of generation, it was like these kids were menaces.
I think that like the original siblings were still like pretty entitled, but like I think their parents, from all account, did like a pretty good job of
they weren't
instilling them with like working values and stuff. So like they were annoying, but they weren't like assholes.
Yeah, because the second generation would like do crazy shit. Like they'd pretend to get hit by a car. They'd run out in front of a car and pretend to get hit by it, and then the other kids would run and be like, "You just killed another Kennedy."
That's crazy.
Which is like obviously fucking hilarious. RFK had a hawk. When we had the RFK episode's a tragedy in and of itself that we will be doing.
We have to do an RFK episode.
He had a pet hawk.
Sure.
And one time a cop, he was like trespassing on a boating in a marina, and a cop was like, "Come out wherever you are." And he went, "I have a hawk and it kills cops."
That's kind of badass, actually. I have a hawk and it kills cops.
Holding out his fucking thing. I saw a hawk yesterday.
That's crazy.
I was going to text you because I obviously famously said on the podcast that somebody was lying on ebirdcanada.ca about seeing a hawk, and I've seen the hawk.
Holy shit, dude. Do you think it's the same hawk?
Probably.
That's amazing.
She was doing that thing where they fly up really high and then like
that's
absolutely dive down.
I've never seen a hawk. Now I really want to see a hawk.
Well, I'm inserting my bird feeder in the backyard this weekend.
And the hawks will come.
Yeah. If you build it, the hawks will come. It's a specific bird feeder for hawks, so it's just dead mice.
It's dead mice. It's just carcasses.
It's just dead mice.
It's just don't look at my carcass feeder.
Oh, that's the bird feeder.
That's my carcass feeder.
Hawks are birds.
For the large birds.
I don't know why you're being so judgmental about my tin can full of dead mice.
Dead mice.
Because like it's normal. It's fine if it's a hummingbird feeder, but the second I have a bird specific bird feeder, i.e. a hawk feeder, it's fucking weird.
That brought up such a random memory, which is when I was living in Mississauga as a child at the Pet Value on Dairy Road.
Those who know,
know.
Those who know.
At the Pet Value, and there was like a bunch of mice there, and I was like,
for pets?
Oh my god, these mice are so cute.
For snakes.
And then someone bought them, and I was like, why they buy so many mice? And they were like, oh, because they're feeding them to their snake. Horrifying. And I understand that's a circle of life. And I'm a meat eater. Yeah. So who am I to talk?
But as a child.
Oh my god.
Also the idea of buying a live mice.
Like a bag of live mice.
That's what I'm saying, where I'm like, I don't want them in a bag.
I'm like, that is horrifying.
My grade 5 science teacher had a snake. And I remember she would feed. She'd be like, okay, science teacher. I know.
Jesus.
She had a gray pixie cut. And wore big scarves.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Obsessed with her. She had a husband. Okay. Wake up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Lavender marriage
with my ass.
And she would often be like, guys, isn't this cool for science? And then feed them mice. And you can see the mice in the snake. You know what I mean? Like you could see the lump.
See it crawling around.
I hate that.
I'm gonna vomit.
I know. I don't care for that.
So Hyannisport, they went.
I guess that was a real tangent. I always think about specifically that one comment we got about somebody who works at a bookstore who listens to this podcast at the bookstore. I think about that. I have out of body moments where I imagine somebody at work kind of listening to us talk fucking nonsense.
Yeah, like out loud, just like in the bookstore. Hey, girl.
Hey,
if that's you, hey. So Hyannisport, huge sprawling building. They're running around.
Compound. The Kennedy compound.
The Kennedy compound. If they're swimming, they're sailing, they're playing touch football. They're like always competing.
Americana.
They like
Ralph Lauren.
Americana, Ralph Lauren, Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
You know the fucking deal. Mm-hmm. Joe Sr.'s like, yeah, knock that over, girl.
Filled to the top.
Trench coat button up to the top. Lily James Depp Rose. Lily Rose Depp.
Who is Lily Rose Depp?
Lily Rose Depp
is the
I
hawk.
didn't know your game is the hawk.
Lily Rose Depp is fan cast as RFK's hawk.
As RFK's hawk.
So look forward to that later.
I'm just like happy that she is a lesbian. That's just like
it makes me like her. And I don't like that it's reverse homophobia.
I know.
And that it made me like her 10 times more.
I didn't really like her at all until she's been dating 070 Shake for like 5 years.
I agree.
Okay, great. Let's talk. And then she was great in Nosferatu.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. But I'm self-hating because I've talked about this. Her forehead is my forehead and her body was my body. So it was like very much like I'm bringing my own shit to the table.
I thought she looked great in that
movie.
Did look I don't great, know why that's giving you self-confidence
It's not even self-confidence issues. I just know the fact that I didn't like her acting is not because of her acting. It's because I'm subconsciously holding her to my standard of myself.
Because you have similar faces.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's like how you sometimes are mean to your younger sister because they kind of look like you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Guys, right?
Right?
Not anymore,
You guys
but
do
when I was
that.
a kid.
Yeah.
I remember being like, you sound so fucking stupid right now.
yeah.
Because my sister sounds exactly like me. My sister has the same voice as me.
Yes, she does.
So when she would speak, I'd be like, I hate the way that you I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
Say, Drake. I say you like him young.
My favorite YouTube video, my favorite video. Maybe I'll try and put it on the, maybe I'll try and download it so we can post it on the fucking Instagram. It's so funny. It's of the Atlanta Hawks, like, so the basketball team.
Cool.
The mascot, they dressed him up like
a hawk.
Well, he is a hawk, right?
Okay.
And then he, on top of his hawk body, he's wearing the same outfit that Kendrick wore to the Super Bowl, and he's performing Not Like Us at the halftime show. Good. But the way the mascot is performing it, it's like the mascot hates Drake. Like you're like, oh, like he's moving exactly like how Kendrick moved, but he's also like, you're like, oh, this Atlanta Hawk hates Drake.
Yeah.
Hates him.
Yeah.
It's my favorite video.
I love that.
Sport. They're Americana. Oh, yeah. They're competitive. So they like being competitive.
Joe Sr. is very much like, yes, compete with each other. Especially the boys. Like the boys, he was like, you guys got to compete. You got to be better than each other. And like,
that's horrific.
Yeah. Joe Jr. obviously was kind of like almost like a second father to the kids in a way because he was the oldest boy. And very much
he's
like
Jacob Elordi.
He's Jacob Elordi. He's really, he's like being primed to like, you know, you're
he's wearing a little purse
one day. He's wearing a little purse.
That's what Jacob Elordi wears. Jacob Elordi wears little purses.
He wears a little purse?
Yeah, he wears little purses.
That's great.
I know.
Happy for him. So the children all had great lives.
You okay?
Obviously.
Yes, want to take a sip of water?
I did, and then I feel like it made me cough more.
No, I said water, not poppy.
I did the water, though. The poppy cures it.
Okay.
Poppy cures all.
It's like I'm talking to my child right now. Hey, I know I said water,
hey, I said water, not
Blair. I said
Blair,
water, not poppy.
Not pop. So there's apparently JFK is quoted as saying that like he had such a good life as a child that he didn't know it was the Great Depression, even though it was actively the Great Depression.
Fucking iconic.
Until he was like studying it in school.
And he's like, what are y'all doing? And they're like, my parents wear sacks.
Yeah.
My parents wear pants made of burlap.
We all been wearing burlap. And you've been wearing little linen trousers, Jack.
Yeah.
So the marriage between the parents was like not great. Joe Sr. was not committed. He was a big cheater. He had like multiple affairs. Mm-hmm. But Rose Kennedy, the mother,
I'm sure that will stop right there, by the way.
Yeah, no one else is
going to cheat though, right?
No one else is going to cheat. Everyone else is going to have
I'm going to be really, really pissed if somebody else cheats in this story after this. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be happy about that.
Mm-mm. Don't worry, it won't happen. I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I would be shocked
if anybody else was
cheating on their longtime wife with maybe a movie star.
Yeah. No, I have no idea. No one else is going to cheat on their wife with a movie star in this story.
And fuck around and find out. Cheat on your wife with a movie star and then get shot in the head.
Yeah, honestly, fuck around and find out. So
those are not equal, but
Yeah, but so there was lots of cheating. Rose coped by being on.
He's kind of a poly king.
Yeah, honestly, polyamory. Would JFK have gotten shot in the head if his parents were polyamorous?
I don't think so. I think, honestly, if people would just accept that they were poly back in the day, things would have been a lot easier.
Yes.
I don't know how that would have stopped Lee Harvey Oswald from shooting JFK in the head, but I think we could have gotten there.
I just feel like the tensions.
There's tension.
Tensions would have been lower. So Rose was on simply like a fuck ton of medications. Like she was like I'm just jealous. Flying high.
Oh.
She was on like fucking Quaaludes, dude. Like she was like,
oh my God.
She was medicine cabineting it up. She had stuff for her stomach. She had like fucking Vicodin, like crazy shit.
Doing this podcast right now, and it was just you talking at me, and every couple of minutes, I'm so high as a fucking kite. I just go like, yeah. I wish. I love drugs. And this is why I can't do them because I
love drugs. Yeah,
because alcoholism runs in my family, and because I have a bad stomach, I'm not an alcoholic. Like I can't be because I'm too afraid of throwing up. But that's just been translated to me being like, I can never have a prescription pill.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be addicted to it. I can't have it.
I'm the same.
Like it's too fun.
No,
so this makes me feel happy. And
I
good all
can
the
never
time.
get any type of drink.
I'm done. It's over.
It's
fucking over.
You hand me a fucking what's that one? Like lithium?
Yeah,
it's over. It's over. It's over for me. We should do an episode high on Quaaludes.
I would love that. Xanax. I fall asleep on the ground.
Next episode, we're just drinking lean.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you done lean? I've done lean.
Yeah, like many years ago.
Me too. I haven't done it in post-pandemic. Lean is very firmly.
Done it since I was a legal adult.
Yeah, I was like, lean is very firmly in the past for me.
Well, lean is also kind of like, it's something that like, I just never would do it again because I think I'm going to be so honest with you guys. Most drugs, if they're offered to me, I'm going to consider them. Lean, I'm just like, quite frankly, why am I drinking cough syrup? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't really
I do love
need
NyQuil,
to do
though.
That. I know. You and every other bitch.
I know, right?
So Rose was super fucked.
Don't do drugs.
There was
if you're in high school, don't do drugs.
If you're in high school, don't do drugs. If you're an adult, do some drugs, but do them carefully and get them tested.
Exactly.
Let's be so honest.
Don't cook your brain.
Get your drugs tested. You can most places do that.
Be safe, guys. Be safe.
Anyway. So she's fucked up. She's also super strict Catholic, super religious. There's no alcohol in the cow.
And you don't get divorced if you're a Catholic.
And you don't get divorced. So when she's pregnant with the 4th child, she leaves. And then her father's like, you got to get back with your husband. It's not an option. And she's just sort of like, okay, well, then I'm putting up with this. But the parents were very like involved in their kids' lives. Like even when his father was like out, like when Joe Sr. was away, like working in Hollywood or whatever, and fucking Marlene Dietrich, like, like the kids would call and like he would have like a conversation with every single kid.
Yeah.
The kids were also like super supportive of each other. Like even like of Rosemary, like all the kids really looked out for her because she had like intellectual disabilities. He had a really strong like emotional relationship with Rosemary. He was just very frustrated that like he couldn't push her to kind of like the heights of the other kids.
Yeah, it's a completely different playing field, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So that's leading up to the terrible shit
episode of this fucking episode
shit you're ever gonna
guys,
hear.
get ready for it.
Get ready. It's not good.
It's not gonna be a fun comedy episode. It's not gonna be like wig.
Lobotomy wig. And the parents like at the dinner table would teach them about like global affairs, politics, like they would really talk about things. And so like the kids really developed like an interest in this stuff quite naturally.
Yeah.
The same way I guess that like normal parents will play you a movie or read you a book.
Yeah.
They're just like want to talk about global affairs and development of nations. So yeah, they're always doing stuff outside. They were all each other's best friends. Joe Jr. and JFK both attend this school called Cote, which is an all-boys school in Connecticut. It's like religious. Joe Sr. or Joe Jr. goes there, and then JFK eventually ends up going there after him. And then in 1936, he enters Harvard. JFK enters Harvard, where his brother, Joe Jr., is already there.
Okay.
And then they both played football at Harvard. JFK was a lot smaller than Joe, so Joe was better, obviously.
Yeah, JFK had colitis.
He had colitis.
He's me coded.
He's Carley Thorne coded.
Yeah.
And he got an injury. JFK got a slipped disc.
Oh, yikes.
While playing football, and that basically just like never healed and fucked him up for the rest of his life. Like
he was. God, that sucks.
Yeah, it's just like pain for the rest of his life, basically.
Great.
So
I feel
more
like football
of this
should
episode,
be banned.
I know football's scary.
Yeah,
but then I'm also like, hockey's fine.
But hockey's fine because they're wearing a helmet, I guess.
Everyone's wearing a helmet and really big outfits, and then like the point of the game is to like absolutely like slam each other into the wall. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine because it's the game of Canada. It's Canada's favorite game.
It's Canada. Oh, Canada, baby.
Right.
So basically, thesis of this episode: JFK was extremely sick. Yeah, just not a well man.
I love that. Should that be the title? JFK is extremely sick.
JFK is extremely sick and sick. And then in 1939, JFK takes a 7-month trip to Europe where he meets with world leaders, sure.
As you do.
Remember at this time that his father is acting as ambassador of the US to the UK. So he is...
Which ends up going really well, by the way.
Which goes really well. And so presumably he has connections there, but like he meets with like everyone, like fucking world leaders, whatever.
Nepo baby.
He also visits Nazi Germany.
Guys.
Which I don't know why that sat. So, because like, I guess it makes sense, but like the idea of JFK visiting Nazi Germany, I'm like, pardon the fuck me?
I know.
And he was deeply, deeply like inspired by Winston Churchill. He sees Winston Churchill and he's like, that's my guy. Because he's just like rousing a nation. Like he's
of course. There's nobody more like there's nobody who seemed like a better politician at the time than Winston Churchill during World War II, even though he's a raging racist and misogynist.
Oh yeah, but like the way that he's like riling
that's
up
what
England
he's a great public
together.
speaker. Yeah,
yeah. And so like JFK is very much like this guy is right, and he becomes deeply committed to this idea that the U.S. needs to enter the war and support this global cause of
stopping Nazis.
Yeah. Which is very different than his father's view of...
Which is run away and hide.
Literally run away and hide. He was like an isolationist. He was like, the U.S. should not get involved, et cetera, et cetera. And then in 1940, in JFK's senior year of college, he published his thesis that he wrote. They retitled it Why England Slept. And it was about the war and its origins. And it was kind of the first kind of like academic look at the war that was published at the time. Not the first, but like one of the first.
Yeah.
So it became a bestseller. Wrote this when he was like 23. And he popped off on that basically. And that's where we leave him because after that, Pearl Harbor.
Whoa.
So, there you go. Bitches.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a really, really good base level understanding of the Kennedys right now that we can use to jump into some really crazy shit.
And I feel like with this season particularly, I feel like you need to know the vibe.
You do, because otherwise you're like, why are these people acting this way?
Exactly. Like you're intense parental pressure, crazy wealth, new money.
And this, like we talked about it last time too, like the Babylon, like this idea of like being like, it's almost this spiritual connection and push to create an American dynasty. Like the pressure is pressure. There's pressure. And then we're creating Babylon, i.e. all of you are going to be political. You're going to be politicians or wives of politicians and figure it out.
And if you don't,
then you're a failure.
You got to help us around the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty crazy.
Love it.
But it is important to know the vibe, and now we're going to get into the tragedies with the rest of the season. So do you have any questions, thoughts, reflections?
No, I'm excited.
Okay, do you want to do our thing?
Let's make this tragedy about us.
Okay, the part of the show where we take a tragedy and make it about us. What would be your Hyannis port?
Oh, great question.
And who would you take there?
We're going to Charlottetown. I love Charlottetown, PEI.
Oh, I'm so jealous
bringing my girls. I'm so excited. I'm bringing all my girls, all my friends, and we have a compound there.
Yes.
And we're hanging out. It's kind of like, Gertrude Stein, New York in the 20s salon vibe. We're all just there chilling, talking about ideas.
Oh, stunning.
And I have a pool.
Oh.
We swim in the ocean if we want, but I also have a pool.
But there's a pool because sometimes
you just want a pool.
Really cold,
sometimes you just want to be in the pool.
Sometimes you want to swim in the beach and swim in the pool. That's beautiful. I love that.
And it's catered because I'm rich. So there's just like catering. Like there's just like, oh, should we get some food, guys?
Just like a private chef. And the private chef has a TikTok. It'll be like, this is what I made today for my writer's salon in PEI.
Oh my God.
And it'd be like, I want to be rich.
Oh my God.
Do you think the figs are vegan or not?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have enough information. I guess they're probably not vegan if they all have to have a single wasp die inside of them. But I have to assume there's some way in a lab they can figure that out now, right?
Right? I don't know. Just interesting.
It's crazy. It's really insane because I don't think honey is vegan. But I also, I still have honey. I'm plant-based. I like eggs. And I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
I know, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't mean to be that bitch with bugs. I just feel like are different.
It's a dangerous line of thinking.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe because also moths have been in my house for like 6 months.
It's brave of me to say that after we've absolutely committed chemical genocide on the bed bugs in my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's actually a really dangerous life. Except for you guys. Y'all are getting sprayed.
You guys are getting sprayed and killed and fumigated and absolutely kicked out. Mine would be, I think, like the Scottish Highlands.
Love that.
Yeah. And I think that's it. And we all have to wear like dresses. Like, I think it's just like truly kind of like a cosplay event.
I like that. The Highland Games.
Yeah. But I feel like the same. I feel like it'd be like a writer's retreat.
We can see the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. I think it would be, and that would be, we'd be looking for the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. Amazing.
And that's on that.
Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. As always, we love you and thank you so much for tuning in.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye.